there! Welcome to Pallet University and the next episode of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX Let's Play here on the channel. So it's been a little while since I've played this game, as you might have seen. So a lot of things have happened since last episode and this episode. But between then, like, I haven't played the game at all, but I think last time I played this game was for the live stream over on Pokecasters Network on Twitch for that charity stream. So if you missed that, the VOD is on the channel, so I put that up. It's like 2-ish hours long, a little longer than 2 hours long. But at the end of that, we did get access to the dungeon with Deoxys, which is what we will be doing today. But the reason I'm on this screen is just to talk about what we have left. I think I've done that in each of the last like 3 or 4 episodes, but it's nice to refresh myself as much as it is to refresh you. So there are 5 question marks left on this screen. So the one after Kyogre, I'm fairly sure is Mew. The one between Latios and Gengar, I don't know exactly what that one is, but I would assume that it's Jirachi, because you don't get access to the Gengar thing until you go to Jirachi's dungeon. And then we also have Celebi and Deoxys on here as well. So I would assume, because you don't get access to Deoxys until after Lugia, so I think the box right after Lugia is Deoxys, the one after that to the left of Munchlax is probably Celebi, and then the one all the way to the right, beneath Ho-Oh, I'm inclined to think is Lucario, which is triggered by getting the highest rank. And that one might just involve me doing a lot of mission grinding off screen. The reason I think that is because Munchlax showed up on there because of an overworld event. So I'm assuming that the final one would also be some kind of overworld event or something like that and not a boss encounter. Otherwise, I think Munchlax would be last. But either way, somebody in the comments probably knows more than I do, so we'll figure that out when we get there. So like I said, we'll be doing the Deoxys dungeon today because it's fairly short, and I'm very tired. I don't have a lot of time to record a bunch of stuff this week. There'll be lots of videos out this week. There'll probably be at least 3, probably 4 videos out this week. This episode plus another episode coming out. This should be out on Monday. The next episode will probably be out on Thursday, I think. And then with 2 other videos on Tuesday and Friday, ideally. So enjoy. Make sure you check those out. But Deoxys' dungeon's very interesting, and I'll talk more about it once we get close, but you need to prepare for it in a very particular way. So let's see, what do I have with me that I don't need? I'm fairly sure you can only go into it by yourself with one Pokemon. I don't know that for sure, but I want to be prepared for that anyway. That should be enough Reviver Seeds, I think. And then I want to make sure that I have a Special Band and X-Ray Specs. Those are 2 very important items to have for this dungeon. Right. So I want to make sure I also have some apples. And then that should be fine. I might grab a couple more Reviver Seeds just to be safe, but we'll see how many I have. I'll take all 3 of these, why not? It's not a long dungeon, but it is a really interesting dungeon. Okay, and I think I have some Empowerment Seeds, right? Yes, okay, cool. So, this dungeon is very odd in that you cannot, the only Pokemon in it is Deoxys. Oh, so you can take 3 people in. Interesting. Okay. So I guess we'll go, no, if you faint in this dungeon, no one will be able to come rescue you. Okay. So I don't want Smeargle as the leader, so I'll switch this to our normal team. I probably want Smeargle with me. So that tells me that the boss is actually harder than it used to be. If you can bring teammates, because I don't remember ever being able to do that. We'll switch you to Marowak. We'll switch you to Smeargle, because Smeargle is absolutely broken. Where are you? So I want to give Gavin the X-ray specs. Like I said, normally I wouldn't care so much about how things go in this dungeon. But just because this dungeon's very weird, and I'm also getting weird vibes from it because it's different than previously. And then, so I want to grab a power band for Cooper if I can. Do I have any power bands? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got lots. Cool. So this dungeon's weird, and like I said, the only Pokemon in it is Deoxys. If they haven't changed that aspect of it. So Meteor Cave, floor 1. Yes. So, as you can see, this Deoxys here, well, you can't see it very well because it's behind sort of the UI, but it's almost like a shade of Deoxys. That version is Deoxys Speed. Okay, so that's interesting. In that, so they have changed it. It is different than it used to be. Okay, so what it used to be. Interesting. I'm not sure why they chose to do it this way, but sure. How it used to be was there was a single Deoxys on the floor, and you could not progress until you found and took out that Deoxys. Which made the dungeon very, even though it's only a 20-floor dungeon, made it very difficult. However, obviously that doesn't seem to be the case here, because there's, this is the third Deoxys we've seen, and it would be a different Deoxys form each time. Also, I don't believe that there were dungeons as well. Ooh, okay. So there's something on the stairs there that's weird. So we have to find the... Okay, no, that's what it was. There's one real Deoxys, the rest are shades. That's what it is. Gotcha. You have to figure out which one is the real one, and you can't proceed until you do. So this dungeon can be very tricky if, you take a while to find the real Deoxys. So it's not this one. And because even the fake ones have pressure, you are going to run out of PP very quickly. And that's something I probably didn't think enough to bring as max elixirs. So this one's also fake. Fortunately, 3 of the 4 Deoxys forms are very easy to kill, and you can usually one-shot, so that saves on PP. Okay, so it's not this one. It's not the one... Well, there's one under my face that you can't see. So you have to sort of also keep track of when they spawn in, because obviously if it's been here for a while, maybe they hang out in the room with the stairs. Also, Smeargle, why aren't you attacking? I mean, I attacked this thing. You'd think normally that makes them attack it as well. So that makes Deoxys warp away. So we are fighting the same Deoxys each time. I don't think that was ever made clear in the original one. Okay. So I've got my eyes on... okay. I'm fairly certain I know which one. Okay, so every time we've seen it, it's in the room with the stairs. So I think as long as you find the stairs, I think you're pretty much good. Well, that's really broken. That uses that much PP for hitting 2 of them. That's kind of ridiculous, honestly. That didn't kill. A heat wave into solar beam didn't kill. Sure. Maybe is it because it's the real Deoxys that it's bulkier? I don't think I've ever heard the word bulky used to describe Deoxys' normal form. Okay, so let's get Smeargle going in here. Because I feel like Smeargle is probably one of our best bets, because Smeargle has just so much power. At least against Deoxys defense form. That's probably one of our best bets. Okay, so that's actually kind of useful information. So if we see one of them sort of going in circles, I don't think that this Deoxys is allowed to leave the room. So if we see one moving in circles, instead of just walking around, that's probably where the stairs are and where we should go. Okay, yeah, what do I have for PP restoring items? Probably not many. I think that's probably it. Yeah, that's it. I'll save that until I need it. Actually, we might as well keep going around and looking at what some of these items are. Because if some of them are max elixirs and things like that, I could really use them. Oh, man. Well, if I had taken the stairs, that wouldn't have just happened. Did it take all of our apples? No, but it took my big apple. That's annoying. Oh my god, Deoxys defense is kind of crazy. Because that took a blizzard into discharge with Smeargle, and then lived another heat wave from Typhlosion. That's pretty crazy. Oh, and I don't even have any heat waves left. That's bad. Oh, they all know... They all know cosmic power, don't they? That's kind of bad. Okay, I killed the real one, which is good. Let's go to Marowak for this. Man, I always wish that Deoxys speed was better. Maybe its evasiveness is just super boosted. Hello? Its evasiveness must be boosted. Thank you. See, like, we're only on floor... Oh, come on. We're only on floor 5, and I'm already, like, kind of stressed. At least, like, items-wise, stressed. And, like, worst case scenario, I'm sure I've got some reviver seeds, like big reviver seeds. Yeah, I've got 3. So I've got 10. So I don't have anybody with leave half. That was my own fault. I don't have anybody with the leave half thing to make it so those reviver seeds turn into the big reviver seeds, or little reviver seeds. But I can at least let myself die and get some PP back. Okay, so yeah. So see how that one is going in circles? The one in the immediately to this way? How it's just going in circles? And that's the real one. Okay, so that's the trick for this dungeon. That is confirmed the trick, I guess. Because they don't really tell you that in the original one. That, they don't really tell you how the dungeon works in the original one. What just happened? Did that just use all of Smeagol's PP for that? Okay, we need to use a big reviver seed for Gavin for that. This is crazy. Well, now Smeagol's basically useless until it dies. Let's go with that then. We'll just use Spore and see what happens. And I don't know if they all have some kind of evasiveness boost as well, or maybe it's just Deoxys speed, I'm not sure. But that's, like, kind of really crazy how often all these moves are missing. So yeah, first of all, not first of all, because we're already almost 20 minutes into the video. I want to give a big thank you to anyone that came out, to any of the streams we've been doing for the past, that we did last week. It really means a lot to have, you know, people who, you know, support, you know, criminal justice reform and support the Black Lives Matter movement in my community. That really means a lot to me. So anybody who came out and watched the streams and donated, thank you so much. And anyone who has no idea what I'm talking about, take a look back in the channel. We've got, we streamed 3 times last week. Unfortunately, I wanted to be able to stream today. That's probably just not going to happen. I want to, but I just don't have time. I have my, I do some volunteerism work every year, and the main weekend where we actually do, like, the volunteering is not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. And I'm director of staff, so I need to make sure everyone else knows what they're doing, which is a lot more work than it sounds like. So I'm spending like every waking minute trying to get everyone else on the same page of what we're doing. Which, considering that most of the people I'm working with this year have never worked with our organization before, it's a little frustrating. Like, obviously we love, you know, bringing new people into the organization, but some of them have not been the most sort of cooperative with, like, coming to meetings, or even just, like, sending me emails being like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it to the meeting. So that's fun. That's what I've been dealing with this past week. And then, so it's currently 12:30 a.m., and right before this, I was on a, like, 2-hour-long call with our director of programs, so, like, the person who makes the schedule, does, you know, figures out what we're doing every minute of the time that we spend doing, you know, these, because it's a youth leadership organization, so we basically teach high school sophomores how to use their leadership skills to make positive changes in their own communities. And normally, obviously, we do this kind of thing in person, but 2020, so we're not doing that, which is just added its own vast host of challenges on top of everything else that goes into making this volunteerism weekend happen. Okay, so it looks like it's this one over here. I know it's kind of hard to see beneath my head. But, like I said, it's generally pretty easy to tell which ones are just going in circles if you have x-ray specs. So, like, if you didn't have x-ray specs, this dungeon would be very, very hard. Like, harder than it already is. Why did I stop? Let's just go. Cool. Alright, we're halfway through. I got outplayed. See, like, my thought is, with all those items, that's definitely a monster house, but I don't know if there can be monster houses here. So it has me really confused. Because, like, I also don't think there can be Kecleon shops, so I really think that must be a monster house. And I don't think I'm mentally prepared for a monster house in this dungeon. Okay, so the stairs room must be over here. Okay, it's just a giant room. Alright. Well, Solar Beam is so bad. Why did I teach myself Solar Beam? Like, I'm like, oh, it'd be good coverage, but, like, there's no reason for it. And, like, it's low-key sort of, like, it only hits 5 spaces away, or 4 spaces away, but it sort of seems like it hits longer than that because of the charge turn. Because you can click it when they're 5 turns away and it'll still hit them if they walk towards you. That was sort of like my thought process with teaching myself it. Okay, but fortunately we do know it's leveled though, because we got Nightshaded at one point and it did 55 damage, I think, I'm pretty sure. So, I believe that will be the level of the big one, you know, the one at the end. Well, that's not good. And if that's the case, that's not that bad. If, you know, they click Nightshade and they're only going to be doing 55 damage, that's really good, because that's not even... Is that a 2-shot on me? Or a 3-shot on me? That is a 3-shot on me, so it's probably a 3-shot on Cooper as well. I think I might let this one kill me. Please don't do that. Like, of all the things to not do, that's one of them. Is double team. Okay, he crit me. That's fine. 'Cause I need to get PP back. Thank you. Okay, where am I going? I think down here. Okay, nope, not down here. It is just barely underneath my head. It's this room here. Nope, okay, there must be another room above this one. I swear I'm not going crazy. Like, the other three forms of Deoxys are not that bad. Deoxys Defense is the worst. I'm actually curious what the official guide for the original game says, because I do have it. And in fact, it's featured in the video that will be up probably on Friday. But yeah, so the video going up on Friday is mostly me, actually it's entirely me going through all the miscellaneous stuff from when I was a kid, all my Pokemon stuff, and showing it to all of you, because there's some really interesting stuff in it, some like old Pokemon stuff, which was pretty neat, that I kind of forgotten that I had. So that's, if you're interested to see what a Gen 1er, you know, somebody who learned to read by playing Pokemon, has from in their collection from years and years ago, check out that video coming out on Friday. It should be, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun filming it. I filmed it probably like a week ago at this point. But it was a lot of fun to just sort of stroll down memory lane and talk about some of my Pokemon habits as a kid. But yeah, so one of the things that I talk about is I used to get, you know, before I had like ready internet access, because, you know, believe it or not, all of you Gen Z folks, Wi-Fi and internet was just not a thing that I ever had at my house. I didn't have actual Wi-Fi at my house until around a year ago, probably. And like, we had internet access in that we used our phone as like a mobile hotspot. That's what we did. We had, at least in recent years, we just had, you know, like a family laptop, where that's what we did. We just hooked up to the hotspot on one of our phones. And that was our internet. Before that, we had dial-up internet, which might seem like a foreign concept to some of you young folks. But it's when your internet used the same connection as your landline telephone. Dating myself a bit here. But that's what we had. And even then, we didn't have that for a number of years, because eventually we just kind of got rid of it. That did so much damage. Yeah. So, before, you know, for a while we just didn't have, you know, quality internet access. Like a ton of people in this country, actually. And, there you are. So, instead of being able to go look on something like Cerebi or Bulbapedia or any other number of websites for Pokemon information, I wasn't able to do that. So I would buy the strategy guides, the official strategy guides, that Pokemon would release, or Nintendo or Game Freak or whoever would release when the game came out. So I have the original Mystery Dungeon strategy guide, as well as the one for Explorers of Time and Darkness. Let's see. What else? Well, actually, you'll have to watch that video to find out. I'm real tired, and I'm trying to plug my own videos, but it's not going well. Yeah, this was literally the only time that I could find to record this video. I'm probably going to edit it right after, too. Are you right behind me? No. See, I hate when there's one just like right behind me. I understand I can't go down the stairs yet. Does it let me right now? No, I have to walk on them again. Actually, no, I can just do underfoot, yeah. Cool. Alright. We're almost there. More than 75% of the way done. Honestly, it having pressure is definitely the hardest part of this dungeon. And like similarly to if you watched the stream of us doing Silver Trench, that was also by far our biggest challenge there too, was just maintaining PP because it's a 99 floor dungeon. And we did not bring nearly enough items to prepare for that. Are you the real one? You are the real one. Hello, friend. Okay. We are almost there. And I'm curious how the boss fight is gonna be. Because I don't remember it ever being that hard. Because it's Deoxys in normal form, which is definitely like the worst of its forms. Actually, no, I take that back. Well, actually, if Deoxys Speed has some kind of crazy evasiveness boost, I think that is probably up there with the best form. Like, I don't know... Does speed affect evasiveness in this game? I didn't think so. I mean, for all I know it could, but I didn't think that was a mechanic in this game. One floor left. Unless it makes us do 20 and then the boss fight, but almost. I think this is the last floor. And then, depending on how long the boss fight takes, I might go through and actually read what it says about what that strategy guide says about this dungeon. Because if it's relatively quick, I was super underwhelmed with the Lugia fight. I wanted the Lugia fight to be like a good fight, but it ended very quickly. Okay, so we are at the boss fight. Serious. Where am I? There was a sudden explosion, and I awakened to this. What is this place? I am Deoxys. I came from space. If you know, tell me. I must know. What happened here? Why is that your dialogue, and then you just attack us? Oh. Well, step one. Spore. Okay, so I missed Deoxys speed. Makes sense. That's super annoying. That's actually perfectly fine. Good job, everybody. So, like, without room clearing moves, this would be probably a relatively difficult fight. Oh, it keeps spawning them. That's not great. So just like that, I'm out of Spore PP, which is crazy. Wow. That is kind of wild, actually. Okay, now I can't just put them to sleep because I don't have PP left for that. What did it just use? Protect. Ooh. Okay, let's actually tell Gavin to not use anything but Heat Wave. Let's do that. Oh, did it just use Light Screen? That's so bad. That's very, very bad for us. Especially if main Deoxys can spam recover. That's real bad. Never mind. Okay. That was easier than I thought it would be. Did we use any Reviver Seeds in that? Maybe one? Team Pokeress used Courage in the fierce battle. Left an impression on Deoxys. You can now access the enclosed island camp, and Deoxys joined your team. I will not give Deoxys a nickname. Is there anything else that's triggered by that when we get back to camp? I don't think so. Nope, just the next morning. So, we're at close to 38 minutes, but I do want to take a look at that. So I'm going to make a cut here, and I'll be right back with the strategy guide and just kind of read off what it has to say. Okay, so I was correct in my initial thought of how things were supposed to go in that dungeon. So originally you were only allowed to bring one Pokemon. That's what I remembered. Let's see. Job description. Defeat Deoxys in the Strange Cave unlocked in Event 5, which was beating Lugia. You're allowed to bring only one Pokemon and no more than 3 items. That's right. So you could only bring 3 items plus your hold item because that wasn't included in your inventory. So basically, I remember in my old save file I had a Blastoise as my starter. Or as my main Pokemon. So I remember bringing it and having X-Ray Specs as my hold item, and then just 3 Reviver Seeds. Because if you died from hunger, or if you died, that had you covered. Let's see. Ideally, your Pokemon should be on a level 40, or should be a level 40 plus Dark type that knows several Dark type attacks, and the Trap Seer IQ skill, but a level 50 plus Pokemon with strong attacks is a solid plan B. You'll have both belly and PP issues in this dungeon, so the bulk of your 4-item inventory should be filled with the only thing that cures both, Reviver Seeds. You may want to bring a tight belt for your belly or X-ray specs to track Deoxys' movements. Each of the 20 floors contains a single semi-transparent Deoxys in one of 3 forms. From left to right, the 3 forms are speed, attack, and defense. So you didn't see normal form Deoxys at all in the the floors of the dungeon. Let's see. Speed can attack twice per turn, but both it and attack will crumble under a good Dark type bite. I don't know why bite, but sure. Save your best moves for the defense form. If the fight is allowed to run too long, it will boost its defensive stats to the point where your moves become completely ineffective. Let's see, on the 20th floor, you'll finally face Deoxys in its powerful, but recruitable, normal form. Because the recruiting was not guaranteed with that, which was important in this game, in the old game. Unless you have access to the Haze move, you'll have to strike hard and fast with your best Dark-type moves to outrace the defense and special defense boost Deoxys will earn by using Cosmic Power repeatedly. And it's very important, they mentioned Dark-type multiple times in this, but the Pokemon that they demonstrate using in the dungeon is Moltres. Sure. Yeah, so also, at the top it also says, recommends items to bring and items to look out for. So items to bring, it says Reviver Seeds, Type Belt, X-Ray Specs. Items to look for. There are no items in Meteor Cave, only money. The lack of booty is all the more reason to hang out and let Deoxys come to you. So that was what was really tough about this dungeon originally, was the best strategy was to find the stairs and then wait until Deoxys got to you, which uses so much belly, or so much hunger. So this dungeon was made significantly easier in this game. So if you want a real challenge, play through the old game. I'm sure you can find a ROM online. I'm not going to tell you where, but you can find them. And get to this dungeon and try and go through it and see the difficulty difference between the two, because it is really quite vast. But with that, we're going to end off this episode here. Next we will... Let's see, what do we have left? For main episodes, we have probably recruiting the Beasts, so Entei, Suicune, and Raikou, and then recruiting the Regis. So that'll be 2 separate episodes. And then I think it will be just a Deoxys stream and a not Deoxys, a Jirachi stream and probably a Celebi stream as well. And then I think that's game. I think that's the game. I'll make a video eventually when I get to the final rank as sort of the series wrap-up. And that'll be it. So I want to thank you guys very much for watching this episode. There'll be another episode out, like I said, probably on Thursday. Make sure to keep an eye out for that. Make sure to also follow us on Twitter as well at Pallet_U to keep up on all things Pokemon science. And as always, there's a time and place for everything.